type of weather. She put it a club to bust up a dub. She came with a man, I called in the sub. She giving her hugs, we know about the mud. She put in my hand, don't know what it was. She knows some of the fam, but don't know enough. My trust is in the God we trust. Sipping on why don't do touch. She got her own fan, she need her a buzz. Might give her a chance, it's giving her. Out in the trance, it's giving her. Not on those ends, it's giving her. Nigga with bands, it's giving her. A nigga with plans, it's giving her. Still in the gym, ain't did the implants. I like that for real, ain't giving up. Like they know that you real, they give it up. Like if you got the steal, they give it up. Taking these M's, they giving us. And running the field like it's 10 of us. I'm cleaning shit out like an enema. I made this shit look like a cinema.
Yeah, I see the pain, I see the pain in your eyes. Somehow I relate tonight. It would be different, different if we were like, girl, but we're nothing alike. Honestly, just never mind. I've been cooped up all night. I've been cooped up all night. I'm on 2 Qs, feel right. I'm so sleazy, can't write. Been on FaceTime all night. Draining my battery, draining my life. Yeah, we go so far back in time. If you gon' talk to me, say what I like. Hey, we put on the feathers for this type of weather. She go to the club to bust up a dub. I thought it was love, it wasn't what it was. We hit the city, she does what she does. We should just leave all that shit where it was. I'm in my road while I wait on the road. She posted my crib, she taking it down. Let's keep it private cause I get around. I'ma just keep it real with you because I had to pick the shit up from the mud. I had to clean this shit up on my ones. I had to bury some niggas I love. And now my heart sensitive right to the touch. And if you start touching me, girl, then what? If you start touching me, girl, then what's up? What's up? Take out the top, baby, let's ride. I'm with my dogs, I pick the side. She want the boss, the one on the track. Yeah. I'm out the one and just throw it when we ride. I did the corner straight, the wheel in the tires. Put 20 hoes on a boat till they tired. Okay, okay.
Yo, so, so I will do this very quickly, right? Today we're going to have a very short stream. Only going to react to only one video today because I don't have much time and I just only need to reach the 7 days stream, which is like on affiliate program, so we can finally can make some money of this shit, which I tried for many years. I tried for 2 years and I never got into this fucking point. And we're close to it. So it's going to be very swift and quick. We're going to react to Greta Thunberg Arrest by Ben Shapiro. Just very quickly. And I think I want to watch first the thing just popped off here, which is like the Romanian schools are educating students on Andrew Tate, which is kind of interesting. It's a very interesting topic, right? Or beloved Andrew Tate.
Haram!
Right. So I would like to watch this first, and I'll get right back to the topic.
So guys, new update, Romanian schools are now brainwashing and manipulating children, and they like to call it re-educating kids about Andrew and Tristan Tate. What has the world come to?
Poliția din România.
Schools here in Romania are
It was really interesting. It's not even in only in Romania, right? It's also in US, it's also in UK, and even people are banning kids. There are they're saying to kids they can even use the hand gesture he uses, right? They can't even do that, right? So they can watch Andrew Tate and they can use the fucking gesture thing. Probably they can't even say what color is your Bugatti to their teacher, right? And it's spreading more and more. And I'm very interested in this because I'm very curious if this is going to come to even to the Middle Europe countries also, right? Because it's happening in the West, it's also happening in the East. But I'm very curious if it's going to happen in the middle.
Talking about the issue of online safety sparked by headlines around the Tate case.
What the fuck? They're doing even a presentation about that shit. PDF presentation about them. Man, this is nuts.
More than half the girls in this class had already been contacted by an adult stranger online. Teachers say they're in a...
Wait. What does that have to do with Andrew Tate? What?
battle to shape the next generation against influencers like Andrew Tate. Lucy Williamson, BBC.
I hope they're just going to like put in presentation like videos about him. Like the slap grab choke, shut up bitch.
BBC News, Bucharest.
I love this
Either
video.
way, no matter what Andrew Tate has done, for a start, he hasn't even been found guilty. A young person should get to decide their future and get the option to choose who they want to support or not. Doing this honestly will make the younger generation rebel. I really didn't think it would come to this, but here we are. Comment your thoughts, guys, on this one down below in the comment section. And as always, please leave a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications.
I mean, what's really interesting is that they extended the detention for them for another 30 days, right? With no evidence at all. They didn't find any evidence, and they're detaining them for another month with zero evidence. They only have two false statements, right? One girl who probably was a guy, to be honest, and the other girl, she probably made up the story saying that he forced her to drink 5 bottles of wine, which probably you would get into hospital, which is total nonsense, right? They don't have any kind of evidence at all. They only have statements of 2 victims. But then you have like 5 or 6 another like girls who are saying this is not true. There was zero evidence, detaining them for another 30 days, which is really interesting. And how did this start? Well, I would say a little midget, the goblin. Goblin has a name. Name is Greta Thunberg, right? So, just a quick recap. Andrew Tate, being Andrew Tate, posted, "Hello Greta Thunberg, I have 33 cars. My Bugatti has a W16 8.0 liter quad turbo. My 2 Ferrari 812 competition have 6.5 liters with V12s. This is just the start. Please provide your email address so I can send a complete list of car collection and their respective enormous emissions," right? I can read. So, Greta Thunberg knew she can tweet anything. She can reply in any way she wants and not get criticized for it, right? So she replied, "Yes, please enlighten me. Email me on smalldickenergy at energygetalife.com," right? So she provided her email address, stuff like this. And really interesting, a day after this exchange, Andrew Tate was arrested for human trafficking and money laundering, right? Like, who wouldn't want to money launder in a country where you pay 5% of taxes, right? So after this, Andrew Weir just replied how only Andrew Tate can reply, with a video statement making fun of her. And I'm not going to play the full video because I think probably most of the people saw it. And he tweeted, Thank you for confirming via your address that you have a small penis, Greta Thunberg. The world was curious. And I do agree you should get a life, right? And the reason why allegedly they got caught was because of this moment. Because of this pizza box, right? He got caught by a fucking pizza box. That's a theory. That's a thing that most people, probably liberals and like normie, I won't say even normie, like the Twitch streamers say. He got caught because of pizza box. Which is total nonsense. Total nonsense, right? When you get in a certain country, not in certain, if you get to any country, even you're flying private, you need to give your passport. They see your flight. They know when you landed in their country, right? So basically, this is the misinformation. This is stuff that most of YouTubers get banned for, right? But when people are saying like, Greta Thunberg owned him, he was caught because of pizza box. Oh my god, recycle pizza boxes next time and stuff like this. Like, it's total nonsense. They knew he was there. They knew. They are spreading misinformation, but they don't get cancelled. That's really interesting. So, of course, Greta after the arrest tweeted, "This is what happens when you don't recycle pizza boxes." Also, she got over 300 million views on the response. Probably a lot of liberals, probably a lot of climate activists were praising her for that. I mean, oh my god, she owned the Andrew Tate. Like, yeah. So yeah, this is the past, and now we are getting into a Uno card. A life played an Uno card on the Greta Thunberg and sent her to jail. We thought she was arrested, but that's far away from the truth. So this is Greta Thunberg arrested, basically, by Ben Shapiro.
Some protesters are true heroes. Some protesters are the heroes of our age. And then there's Greta Thunberg, who is one of the great heroes in human history.
There's Greta Thunberg.
Greta Thunberg, yesterday, was arrested in Germany in what was a harrowing experience with the German authorities.
I mean, I remember when this happened. I don't remember the exact same date, but I remember everybody was spamming it on Twitter. Like, oh, this is what you get from the pizza boxes thing and stuff like this. But
according to Sky News,
yeah.
Swedish environmental activist 20 has been taking part in protests against the demolition of the village of Lützerath, which is due to be cleared to make way for the expansion of a nearby coal mine. Apparently, she was arrested because she decided to obstruct this thing. It is the second time this week that the Swedish...
I mean, imagine. You want to go to work. You have no other job than to work in a coal mine. There's some, 5'1" midget screaming, "You can't go to the coal mines. It's bad for the environment." Bitch, please. Throw it away. Well, she's only 5'1", right? The wind. If there would be a wind, it will just fly off. Right? It's not that hard. But I'm assuming she was protesting with her autistic protesters, right?
Swedish activist has been moved on by the police in the village. The local Aachen police force said that Thunberg was part of a group of protesters who stormed toward the edge of the open cast mine, described by officers as, quote, steep and extremely dangerous. The force said the activist was not
extremely dangerous, also. The protests for Andrew Tate when they're just screaming, you know, top G and playing in the background like it's dangerous. But when the Greta Thunberg is going to the mines and really just taking the risk, something can fall on her, or really just, you know, trying to make a world a better place, kinda. It's bad. Bad.
Arrested, but was instead carried along with other protesters for identification. She was released after a brief detention, according to the police. And we have some harrowing video.
But this reminds me kind of the protest that was happening in the UK. It was on F1 race after the big crash. The climate activists who have probably the picture of Greta Thunberg like right in front of right on their wall, right? They're probably kissing before they're going to sleep, right? They just went on the track and lie down. Which is really interesting, you know. If I would be a F1 driver, I would be like, okay, today is going to be like a bumpy ride, you know. But they just lay on the track and were like, no, emission, don't do that, don't race, it's bad for the environment, and we're just fucking protesting. Just a bullshit thing.
Of what it looks like when an extraordinarily privileged, now woman, she used to be a small girl who they trotted out as the face of global warming so that no one could criticize.
No, this is really interesting. I remember Greta Thunberg for the first time when I saw her. I know where it was, probably in 2016. Or in 2018, 2019. And I was just looking at memes where he was like, you stole my dreams. My childhood. You stole my childhood and my dreams. How dare you? Really a funny thing to look at. Really fun thing to look at. But I remember like she had a beef with Donald Trump. I remember like all the like West people were praising her, like how brave she is. She's only 16 and she has so much to say. She's such a brave girl and stuff like this. It's really interesting what it comes through. Your channel is dead, bro. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the follow.
Criticize her. Now she is a young woman, so we can make fun of her as much as we like. This is the face of a very privileged white lady who is being, quote unquote, arrested at a coal mine in Germany. And apparently this is what it looks like when you get arrested at a coal mine in Germany while being an extraordinarily privileged environmental activist. She's laughing with the cop.
Man, I remember when I saw this on Twitter. I was like happy, right? At first I was like happy. I was like, yeah, Greta Thunberg is getting arrested, yeah. And then like this. And just this
Two cops in
happened.
full uniform who are standing next to her. She's smiling, enjoying herself, laughing. The police are holding her arms while posing for the cameras.
Damn.
And there she is, looking somewhat happy about the situation. And this is what it looks like. This is a brutal
This
arrest.
is like the evil mastermind. This is how it looks. This is how she looks. Right? Evil mastermind behind all of this. I don't know why they made this, to be honest. I don't know if they're just doing it for publicity or like look, we're also arresting Greta Thunberg for doing bad stuff, you know? We're not like protecting her from everything. Look, we're arresting her, and then this, basically. Probably just publicity.
Looking somewhat happy about the situation. And this is what it looks like. This is a brutal arrest. Oh, there it is. Wow, she's being walked. Wow, she's walking, and the police are holding her arms. All that's left there is you need AOC's pretend handcuffing. Remember when AOC, quote unquote, got herself arrested, and she held her hands behind herself as though she was being handcuffed, even though she wasn't handcuffed. I'm sorry, the staginess of this is just, it's truly amazing and cringe. there's a picture of Greta Thunberg actually smile. This is the first time I've ever seen Greta smile, which which is great. I mean, I'm glad that Greta has found her happy place. Her happy place is apparently
A happy place by cops. But she's not the girl. She's not that girl. She's not the girl. Okay? She's not the one. I was trying to find her. But she's not the girl. Okay? That was like the first picture I saw of her. Like getting wheeled. Or getting really just getting just holding her in their hand. Like that.
being carried in the arms of the police while posing for the camera. She's like grinning as they carry her away. Greta Thunberg. So that again, glad that she has found happiness. My honest take on Greta being arrested actually is that I'm wondering if this is all sort of the setup for a reality TV romance in which she is arrested and put in jail, and it turns out that her cellmate is Andrew Tate, and that might.
I mean, if you think about it, it's not the most bizarre thing that could exist, right? I mean, if they could make a real reality TV show that's about MILFs that are trying to bang each other's sons, I mean, this doesn't seem like something weird to me, to be honest. I've seen too many Netflix shows to believe this shouldn't be like anything special.
You remember their weirdly tension-filled exchange on Twitter in which Andrew Tate tweeted her pictures of his Bugattis, and she suggested that he had quote-unquote small dick energy. I'm wondering if this is all the setup
Yeah,
to
go
the
girl.
prison romance
All that.
that is to follow between Greta Thunberg and Andrew Tate. The unlikeliest of romances. Proposed title of the show, Hot Takes, with Greta Thunberg and Andrew Tate in prison. And so much of our environmental movement is about this sort of virtue signaling nonsense. There are people in the world who have real problems. There are people in the world who don't get to spend their days standing at an
I
open.
mean, the real thing is that my take would be like Greta Thunberg is sort of like the youngest child, right? So imagine really like red pill people, right? Red pill people, they're talking the truth, they're saying this and this happening and stuff like this. And they're the oldest child, right? They're getting punished for it. They're getting slapped, they're getting like, you can go outside, you can use your Xbox, you cannot do this, that, and that, right? Oldest child will always get punished more. So basically, the red pill YouTubers or people are the oldest children, and they are getting literally how can I say that? They are getting more of this shit. But if you go to Greta Thunberg is like the youngest child. When the youngest child does something, parents don't care. Okay, she like broke this. She like did this. Okay, it doesn't matter. She's young. She's my baby. Stuff like this, right? Which probably the most of like the social media or really mainstream media are doing this basically for her. Oh my gosh, she's so sweet. She's protesting to be a better world. And even if she does something like this, or she says like, "Oh, small dick energy," nothing is going to happen to her. Nothing's going to happen to her, right? So we can say that Greta Thunberg is like the youngest child, and the red pill and the like people who are talking the truth, like Andrew Tate, are the oldest child, basically.
Coal mine and then posing for the cameras as they are quote unquote arrested. And by arrested, we mean moved 25 feet for the sake of the cameras. And yet we are supposed to believe that Greta Thunberg is a great environmentalist hero, that she is undergoing serious risk. And in order for you to be a true hero, in any sense of the word, you have to undergo serious risk. You have to be risking something. What exactly is it that Greta Thunberg risks? The answer, of course, is nothing. Greta Thunberg risks the possibility of being even more famous, of being even more lauded by the very society that she claims is evil and terrible and victimizing her. What a lovely job she has. We'll get to more
I'm
on this in just one second.
addicted.
First, if one of your goals this year is to do business with companies that
Oh,
actually don't
no,
eat your guts, perhaps
that.
you should check out Pure Talk. Pure Talk is the anti, and that brings us to Davos. At Davos, you have people who are interested in the virtue signaling. They're interested in taking their private jets to Davos, Switzerland.
Like, imagine the girl is saying, don't go on planes. Don't travel with planes. So much emission. But she's traveling with planes. Or she will say, I'm not traveling by trains. I'm traveling by boats. If you would look at the stats, if you look at the statistics, you would see that the boats are getting more emissions than the planes.
In order to talk with other very famous, powerful, and rich people about how they control the world and how much power they can wield on behalf of the world. And that's pretty dangerous stuff when people get it in their head that it is their job to rule the world on behalf of others, that they are the elite. And the elite have the ability, because of their superior brain power, because of their superior celebrity, because of their superior wealth, to run everybody else's life. This is what takes you from being an elite to an elitist. So sometimes, I think I do it, but I think a lot of people do it even more often than I do. Mix up the word elite and elitist. These are not quite the same thing. If you're an elite, this means that maybe you are among the top 1% of people who are wealthy, or maybe you're in the top 1% of people with IQ, or you're the top 1% of people who are the most athletic. Those are elite. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with being elite. Those are very often the people who create the most innovation. Those are the people who create enormous value for the rest of society. There is something wrong with being elitist, where you believe that because you're an elite, therefore you get to rule everybody else. And that is the essence of Davos. This is expressed by no one better than John.
This is what I'm saying. She can do whatever she wants. She can get whatever she wants. Right? This is the thing. This is the thing. She doesn't need to go through any bullshit. If you will fuck with Greta Thunberg, who even try to touch Greta Thunberg, you are fucked. And you are probably going to the fucking jail, my friend.
So John Kerry, the Biden administration climate envoy, because
Yeah. This is the one. You're not the guy, pal. You're not the guy. Yeah, this. When I saw this, I was like, I was like happy to see this. Then I saw the fucking video. 10% in that.
Ruled by octogenarian morons who've been career losers, who have never said a useful thing in their lives. John Kerry, whose face is collapsing,
John
like
Kerry.
a home in the Hollywood Hills during a rainstorm, and who more and more is morphing into the Easter Island head. They're just going, if they encapsulate him in stone, they can just put him right there on Easter Island, and he will fit in forever. In any case, John Kerry, he went to Davos.
Okay.
And he kind of spilled the beans on what it is they think that it is their job to do. He says that it's our job to fix the world. To fix the world. It's your job. Because we're powerful and we're rich and we're famous and we have all
Wait.
And
why
that does
our
raise
job? That doesn't make any sense. Why our job? Isn't like the elite, like they always say, we are helping people, we have money, we are helping people. But why they are doing absolutely zero fucking thing? Sort of like, there's maybe something. There's probably nothing there. You're saying but why they don't? Why they don't invest in nothing? That should be a question. Why they don't invest in those things when they are so wealthy? They can help more.
the question of how well have you guys done so far? And over the past few years, as we'll get to, the answer is you've done quite an awful job. And yet there you are suggesting that it is your job to fix all of the planet's problems, and all you will require is utter control.
And when you stop and think about it, it's pretty extraordinary that we, select group of human beings, because of whatever touched us at some point in our lives, are able to sit in a room and come together and actually talk about saving the planet. I mean, it's so almost extraterrestrial to think about, quote, saving the planet. And if you said that to most people, they think you're just a crazy tree-hugging, lefty, liberal, do-gooder, whatever.
Oh. Oh.
Yes, correct. As one online commenter noted, this is the closest that John Kerry has ever come to just admitting that they are the lizard people.
Listen, the lizard people conspiracy is true. Okay, you cannot tell me there's no lizard people. This is my favorite theory. I swear to God. I think the probably Queen Elizabeth reptilian. I think the Queen Elizabeth was probably a reptilian, to be honest. No, lizard. Haha. I think she was probably. No, a reptilian. But my friend Mark Zuckerberg is probably like, you cannot tell me this face is like from the earth, right? Yeah, no. And the Mark Zuckerberg is the lizard man. Yes.
You're into online bizarre conspiracy theories. But hey, something touched us at one point in the past, and it gave us the power. So what touched John Kerry? Well, it turns out that what touched John Kerry and gave him the power to do this was marrying into an extraordinarily wealthy ketchup family.
Damn.
That's, I don't know if you were able to marry into an
You played the
extraordinarily
game on the
wealthy
easy
family
mode.
and then run unsuccessfully for president of the United States, and then be given a career jet-setting around the world and complaining about global carbon emissions. But that's what touched John Kerry. He was not touched by the hand of God with incredible intelligence. He's never really accomplished anything on his own, right? And what I mean by that is in the business world, for example. He's been in government essentially since the time that he was back from Vietnam, where he proceeded to prey on his fellow Vietnam veterans by calling them war criminals and mutilators of prisoners.
What?
And he has parlayed that into an entire career. That characterizes a lot of the professional class over at Davos, who believe that it is their job to restructure the world.
Yeah. All the people at the top are saying, you need to do this, you need to do that, right? You need to save our planet. But those people who are saying that, they are not doing it, right? Those people who have the most amount of money, most of the power, they are not doing it. Is it just because they know it won't be beneficial to them? Or they know there's probably nothing there to invest to, right? So the thing is that they're saying their stuff, they love their environment, they love the animals, but they're still doing the bullshit they do. It's just total nonsense. It doesn't make any sense.
Alrighty, guys, the rest of the show is continuing right now. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll be getting
It's just
into how
a lot of bullshit they're trying to tell you. There's lots of studies, right? They're saying that the global warming isn't real, right? You can make your own kind of perception of this, but they're saying, even saw the graphs. The thing is, this isn't the most heated part of our century. This year isn't the most heat waves in our century. If you look at the heat waves back in old days, you would see they were more hotter than now. Right? A lot of people are saying this isn't true. A lot of people are saying this is true. Right? It's really hard to tell. You can make your own mind what is real. You cannot deny the facts. You see the facts, and when you can see through the bullshit, right? If you can see through the bullshit and see this isn't the truth. Do you know when you will see the truth? When you will start thinking logically, not with your emotions. When you start taking research on your own and stop just listening to the media. When you start researching by yourself, you will find a lot of things that doesn't make any fucking sense. And the things make sense are saying this is bullshit. I advise you to look more than on social media, more than on really just those bullshit mainstream medias. I advise you